Here's a look outside right now from the downtown tower cam. Here's cloudy, but at least it's not doing anything right now. And temperatures have warmed slightly. The winds, though, have increased.
13 on your side, Chief Meteorologist George Lessons and Meteorologist Michael Behrens over in the Weather Center now with more calmer today, you guys.
Yes, no precipitation here today, but certainly what an aftermath of all the ice and snow.
Yeah, it's really been a slippery mess, a skating rink in a number of locations across the region. I mean, even here in Grand Rapids where we didn't get the ice, when I was out at Robinette's earlier, it's just the sleet has frozen into a pretty solid surface.
And you've got some pictures coming up here in just a moment, but a lot of ice across the area. On the left, you can see up to 3/4 of an inch of ice, mainly in our southern counties, about 1/4 to 1/2 here in the greater Grand Rapids area, and some sleet up to 2 inches out at Cannonsburg, and snow to the north, pretty much played out as expected, 3 to 6 inches in those areas. The winds have increased, gusting to now 35+ miles per hour. We had a peak wind gust of 40, probably hampering some of those recovery crews out in the field. We've had a couple of flurries here this afternoon. May see a couple of flurries tonight, but no impact weather. Low pressure system has gone through. That's actually swung our winds around to the southwest and temporarily brought in some milder air. We are in the mid-30s now after reaching close to 40. But look at those temperatures back to the north and west. By morning, we'll be at Minneapolis' temperature of 13. Right now, we're ranging from about 30 up around Ludington to as warm as 37 in Kalamazoo. We will see those temperatures kick into a flash freeze here overnight tonight. So Michael now joins us with a look at some of our viewer photos and videos.
Yeah, it's really been in some impressive photos and video that we've gotten across the region, not just from last night, but also from today. Let's take a look at this. This picture here came in from Scott, I believe, where we got that photo in from here across West Michigan with the trees coming down. Certainly has been an interesting view out there. John sent this photo of the kids out there skating on the sidewalks or the driveways this morning here in West Michigan. It was a great morning to be out there. Aaron got this video throwing the curling stone down the road because you're just not going to be able to use that street for anything else when it's this icy out there. And what we've seen across the region has been a combination of two factors. One, the ice that did fall, and two, the sleet that compacted. This picture that came in last night showed what looked to be a bunch of snow, but was actually sleet when you got it closer up for inspection. And once that kind of froze together into a mass overnight, it was a very hard, very slippery surface this morning. And what we're going to see tonight is when things refreeze, everything going to turn back into a sheet of ice.
All right, Michael, thank you.
Today's winds are making it difficult for utility crews trying to restore power to thousands of people statewide after yesterday's storm.
We're told the worst hit areas include Kalamazoo, Jackson, Hillsdale, and areas along the I-94 corridor. Here's a look at the current outage map for Consumers Energy.
There are more than 300 crews, including some who came to help from out of state, working to get the power back on to more than 4,500 reported outages, affecting about 200,000 people. And coming up, we will talk to Consumers Energy officials live about their efforts to restore the power.
But it's not just Consumers Energy. DTE Energy also working to restore power to more than 600,000 customers, mostly on the east side of the state.
And while utility crews work around the clock to repair the damage, you will want to keep an eye out for scenes like this. These power lines were dangling across a residential road in Kalamazoo. Consumers Energy trucks are scattered across the region right now, trying to get them fixed as quickly as possible. 13 on your side's Nate Belt is following their efforts and continues our team coverage now from Kalamazoo. Nate.
Yeah, Juliet here in Kalamazoo. We're on Pasadena Street right now, and you can see behind me, things just look like this pretty much every single street you go down in town. There are trees across the road, blocking the entire way. We've got a crew back behind them working. I can't tell from here if it's a power truck or if it is a truck that is, out here clearing down these trees and cutting down some of the branches that have been dangerous. But again, pretty much every street you go down in Kalamazoo right now looking like this one. Now, one of the trees that did fall today fell onto a home over on Kingston Avenue. That happened just after midnight. Marcus Hamilton and Stephanie Lukens were asleep in the next room over when it happened. Now, originally they thought the tree actually fell outside, but they were shocked when they got out of bed to check on it.
Heard a loud boom, opened the door to the living room and saw a hole in branches and rain and plaster falling through the ceiling.
Unfortunately, no one was hurt, and the two do have a place to stay in the meantime. Now, as for the rest of the area out here, Kalamazoo County tells us its first priority was restoring power to warming centers before the temperature drops again, especially for folks who may not have power for a few days still. Now, the Red Cross has put together a shelter here in Kalamazoo County for folks who need to go there overnight. You can find that information online at 13onyourside.com, and of course, we'll continue to keep you updated on the conditions. We have another crew coming down here for the evening show, so check back at 11 for how things are looking down here in Kalamazoo County. But for now, sending back to the studio live out here, Nate Belt, 13 on your side.